It's Benjamin here, just in Cape Coast in Ghana, in a dark little alley where I'm recording this video to get away from the beach wind. And over the past year, I've been on a journey of deep spiritual exploration. If you've been watching any of my recent videos, I've been exploring a lot of ideas like enlightenment, what is the nature of the self, what is God, what happens after death. And one of the things that's been coming up a lot for me lately is this question of reincarnation. What is reincarnation? Well, what a lot of people believe reincarnation is this process where you go through your entire life as a soul. So you're not actually your physical body, you're not your brain, you've actually got a soul that lives within you, a soul that lives inside of you. And at the end of your life, depending on what sort of karma you've accumulated, karma is like the energy that you put out into the world through the deeds you do, the thoughts you think, the words you speak. All of your actions have an energy to them, and depending on what kind of energy you've put out, that's going to come back to you in your next life. And in a lot of traditions like Buddhism and Hinduism, it's believed that once you become conscious, fully conscious and awake, and once you become enlightened, you can break the cycle of karma and return back to the source energy from which we all came. That's a bit of an idea of reincarnation. So what I personally came from was the Christian understanding, where we go through life and we either go to heaven or we go to hell, and we stay there for eternity. There's only two places. But as I began to look into this more, I started to see that that was a very limited perspective, and it got me onto this whole idea of reincarnation. What I've come to understand requires a little bit of a background story, so I'm just gonna paint a bit of a picture for you so that you can understand this different idea of reincarnation that I've come to. So to get this, you need to go back to this idea which the Hindus have believed for many thousands of years, which is that we all originally come from the same place. And on a physical level, no matter what you believe, that's still true. If you're Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, doesn't really matter. All these different religions do believe that we originally came from the same place in some sense. Even if you're a staunch atheist, you still believe we all came from that single big bang which created all of physical matter in the universe. So we all come from this same place, and essentially what that same place was, in this particular viewpoint which I'm sharing with you, was source energy, or God consciousness, the infinite consciousness that created this whole universe. That's where we all come from. And the story goes that this infinite consciousness always existed, it always was there, and it got bored of knowing itself. It already knew everything. Like, you think of the mind of God knows absolutely everything about everything, and it got bored in that state of all-knowingness and decided to blow itself apart and create the physical universe which we see today. So it did this so it could forget itself, become unconscious, and go through the process of evolution so that it could slowly explore all of the infinite possibilities and infinite forms of itself throughout this process of time. So that's one of the theories that's out there, which I happen to believe is a pretty good theory. And so through this process, that infinite consciousness broke itself apart into many millions and billions and trillions of pieces, and then, through the process of evolution, slowly condensed into matter, and that matter grouped together into planets and stars, and on those planets, slowly over time, over a long period of time, life began to form and evolve until you got to the point where we are today. Another one of these ideas that plug into that whole concept is that we all come from a group soul. We all come from a group soul. And a group soul is like your higher self. So on one level, we did all come from the same God consciousness, and on another level lower down than that, that God consciousness formed into a large group soul, like a mega soul you might want to call it, consisting of hundreds or thousands, maybe even thousands of individual pieces. And then that mega soul designed all of these different lives so it could go out and gather different experiences so that it could evolve and know itself in infinite different ways. So it could gather knowledge and experience by creating this simulated life, and one of which is exactly what you're living today. That's how you came to be where you are today. So if you think of it like that, your soul in your individual body is part of this higher self, this group soul, which is in the process of becoming conscious, getting to know itself, and exploring all the different possibilities of life. So your whole lifetime has just been like an experiment, exploring different possibilities, exploring free will, and so on. This gives you another idea of what reincarnation could really be. And to understand this, you have to bring it together with this idea that time is just an illusion. So traditionally, when you look at time as a straight line that goes from point A to point B, you look at your life as a big timeline. In the West, we've got this very linear understanding of what time is. In reality, Einstein's theory of relativity shows us, quantum physics continues to show us that in reality, time is actually all of these different layers of reality happening on top of each other at the same time. So if you have this layer down here, this could be like 1960, and it's moving like this. On top of it, you have 1961, 1962, 1963, all the way through to the present day. They're all on top of each other and they're all happening at the same time. Now it's kind of hard to get your head around. I know it's like a big concept there, but essentially what it means is this. All of your other past lives are happening right now. All of the other souls that you're connected to in this one group soul, they're all happening right now. Their lives are being lived right now in this other layer of time, in this other layer of reality. And likewise, all of your future souls are also all happening right now. They're all stacked on top of each other, happening at the exact same time. So those are just a few of my reminiscences on the idea of reincarnation and the nature of the soul. Hope you enjoyed that. Look out for more videos on spirituality and consciousness coming very soon. Thanks for watching.